Sounded good, Grace.
One day, the king of sharks saw the most beautiful girl he had ever seen on the shore. He decided to follow her, taking his human form and covering his shoulders in his colored cloak of feathers. Once he was there, he discovered that the village had a festival, and he won every game, obviously, as well as the young maiden's heart. She was overjoyed when he asked for her hand in marriage. The young couple lived by a pool with a waterfall. Every day, the king of sharks would jump into the pool and spend hours on end, causing his wife some panic. Once he had finally resurfaced for the day, the wife asked her new husband what he was doing under there and how he stayed under for so long. He replied he was making a place for their son, which she didn't understand at first, but he assured her that one day she would. Soon the couple was expecting, but the king of sharks had to return to his people in the ocean. Before he left, he made his new wife promise that she would always make the king of sharks' son wear the cloak of feathers. She wasn't sure what he meant, but once the son was born, she saw on his back a mark that looked like the mouth of a shark, and she knew that the cloak of feathers would conceal his true identity. Navani grew up like any other child. He was delightful, he played with the village people, and he enjoyed talking to the fishermen as they walked by his house to their daily spots. Every day he would ask where they were headed, and the fishermen would reply and continue on their way. Then Navani would jump into the pool and spend hours and hours away and return later that night. Soon the fishermen began to notice that their catches were becoming less and less, and the fish seemed to be disappearing. The village tribe leader called a meeting, and he declared that there was a bad god among the villagers. To find them, he was going to devise a test. Mortals would walk across a bed of leaves and crush them as their feet passed over. Immortals wouldn't leave a trace, and thus making the god visible. As all of the mortal boys took their turn and Navani's turn got closer, he grew panicked. He began to look for a way out, and not seeing any, he turned to run with his cloak flying out behind him. Seeing that he was trying to run away, the other villagers grabbed Navani, pulling the cloak from his shoulders and displaying the mark of the shark mouth. Then his identity was revealed, and he had to run for his life. He jumped into the pool by their house thinking to escape, but the tribe leader, thinking to kill Navani, decided to fill it with boulders and rocks, hoping to crush him. Navani, however, managed to escape. When the wife was sure that her son was killed, and after she had been crying for hours and hours, she looked to the ocean and saw Navani waving before he joined his father, the king of sharks, in the ocean. She now understood the reason why her husband had spent hours and hours under the water. He was making a place for their son. He had made a tunnel from the waterfall to the ocean in case he had ever needed to escape to join his father in his true place in the ocean. So Navani lived, but even to this day, the villagers and fishermen in Hawaii won't tell where their fisher spots are in fear that the fish will disappear again. Yay! Yes, you can go to sleep now, Mitchell.